Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the West Milton Council meeting, April 13th, 2021. I would like to please ask everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord God, we thank you and we praise you for the gift of life, for the nice weather this evening. Pray, Lord, that your presence and your power would come upon this room this evening, and that you would guide the conversation. And I'm going to try something that might be a little bit different for us. This will take a moment, I promise. Just praying before I came here and asked the Lord if there was anything special he wanted to do. And I had two things come to mind. If there's anyone here who has an aneurysm of some sort, I don't know if that's the case, but if there's anyone here who's suffering from an aneurysm, just pray, Lord Jesus, that you would bring healing. And also any injury or something going wrong in the left ear, just pray, Lord Jesus, that you would come and bring healing right now. And the last thing was just that the Heavenly Father looks down and wants to wipe away the tears of anyone here who has been just saddened by things as of late. And so I just pray, Father, that these things, if any of these things are of you, that you would bring them to fulfillment, and any things that you also want to do for anyone here tonight. I just pray, Lord, that you would bless them in a special way. And I just pray, Lord Jesus, all of this in your mighty, powerful name. Amen.
Amen.
I will apologize for not introducing Jeff Stevens, who's a seminarian with the Transfiguration Church. So thank you. I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Miller?
Here.
Dews?
Here.
Copp?
Here.
Hurst?
Here.
Horn is absent. Tracy?
Here.
And Metz? Here.
Council should have received a bunch of minutes. We've been kind of busy here lately. There was a special meeting and a regular meeting on March 9th. March 11th as a special meeting on the 20th of March. March 23rd, a council workshop. April 8th, a special meeting. And I believe everybody had those minutes, and I think that we've already made some corrections. Are there any motions for said minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from March 9th, March 9th special meeting, March 11th special meeting, March 20th special council meeting, March 23rd council workshop, and the April 8th special meeting. Second.
Roll call, please.
Dews?
Yes.
Copp?
Yes.
Hurst?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Metz?
Yes.
And Mayor Miller?
Yes. There were some absences from some of those meetings on March 9th. Casey was absent on the 8th of April. Copp and Tracy was absent. And then tonight, Chris was unable to attend. Are there any motions?
Make a motion to excuse Councilmember Metz from the March 9th special council meeting. Councilmember Copp and Tracy from the April 8th, special council meeting, and to excuse Councilmember Horn from the April 13th tonight's council meeting.
Roll call, please.
Dews?
Yes.
Copp?
Yes.
Hurst?
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Metz, I'm sorry.
Yes.
And Mayor Miller?
Yes. Ben, is there any correspondence to council this evening?
No, there's not.
All right, thank you. There are two resolutions or two pieces of items on the docket this evening for the ordinances and resolution. The first one is an ordinance for the refuse collection fee. The second one is hiring a new manager. At this time, I'd open up the floor for any comments from citizens regarding those two pieces of legislation. All right, seeing none. CM-21-05, Ms. Brosh.
It's an ordinance establishing refuse collection fees and amending section 53.32 regarding garbage, refuse, and recyclable of the Code of Ordinances for the municipality of West Milton, Ohio.
Thank you. Ben?
It's taken us a long time to get to this point, and I'll have a little bit more in the manager's report, but it's been a long tour. I think that everyone has put about as much thought into this as possible. This isn't in my report, but from an administrative and office standpoint, I'm glad that the day is finally here because the service has really gone down. It's probably a matter of they knew they were serving their last month or two, but it's going to be good to take this over and get going on it. Thank you.
And I can say that the new toters look great, so. Anyways. Any discussion for resolution CM-2105 by council? Any motions?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept ordinance CM-21-05.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Hughes,
Yes.
Cobb,
Yes.
Hertz,
Yes.
Horn, he's absent, Tracy,
Yes.
Metz,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. Second is CM-21-07, a resolution to hire a new manager. Ms. Brosh.
It's a resolution to authorize the employment of the municipal manager and to authorize the adoption of the employment agreement for the municipal manager attached here too. Whereas the municipality of West Milton, Ohio is currently in need of a municipal manager, and whereas a hiring committee was formed for the sole purpose of collecting, reviewing, and interviewing potential candidates for the position of municipal manager for the municipality of West Milton, Ohio. And whereas the hiring committee has recommended that council retain the services of D. Jeffrey Sheridan as the new municipal manager for the municipality of West Milton, Ohio. And whereas council believes it is in the best interest of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio to retain the services of D. Jeffrey Sheridan as the new municipal manager. Now therefore, be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio that Section 1, the council wishes to retain the services provided by D. Jeffrey Sheridan as municipal manager of West Milton, Ohio. Section 2, the council, pursuant to the charter, wishes to enter into the employment agreement attached to this resolution, which shall be incorporated herewith as Exhibit A. Section 3, that council hereby establishes the compensation and benefits for the municipal manager as specifically set forth in the employment agreement with the salary to be $120,000 per year. Section 4, the mayor and vice mayor for the municipality of West Milton are hereby authorized to execute the employment agreement for the municipal manager attached here too. Section 5, that this resolution shall be effective on and after the earliest date permitted by law.
Thank you, Ms. Brosh. I would like to, I think Jeff is watching this evening, so I'd like to welcome him this evening. I would also like to say thank you to our hiring committee, Vice Mayor Hurst and Councilman Tracy. They went through many extra meetings and put in a lot of extra work to really kind of narrow down our candidate list. We had a lot of highly qualified candidates. I was really impressed and surprised that so many people want to work here. But I think that just speaks to who we are and what kind of a municipality that we have here, and everybody wants to come here, and I don't blame them. So, but thank you, gentlemen, for helping out, and I do appreciate it. And I know Ben is really looking forward to not counting down or anything, right? To having Jeff come on board as well. So, Ben, all the work that you've done in the in the interim as interim acting manager has been phenomenal. You know, without you and without everything that you've done, I don't know where we would have been, quite honestly. To have a resource like you, you know, you've kept this city running, and that's not understated. I don't think I could state that enough. That you've really picked up and ran with the balls that were thrown at you, and you did, you know, you outdid yourself. So I want to express my thanks to you for everything that you've done, and I look forward to working with you for the next 35 years. I mean, it's been great. Thanks, man.
I do want to say that starting out the process, there's a lot of different ways to hire a manager. Starting out the process with Paddle Creek, council had the foresight to go with the consultant firm. The applications that came in were just, you know, mind-blowing. I mean, but I will say that I don't know the number of 5 managers maybe that I've worked for. I feel like Jeff is the most well-rounded from an experience standpoint that I've worked with. He's just, you know, he's above when it comes to the learning curve. There's really, the only thing that Jeff will learn is basically how Ohio does business. Extremely comfortable, and I thank council for taking so much time to make the right hire, and I think that this is gonna really work out for us. I'm excited to work with Jeff, and I know the employees are excited to have a new manager, so thank you guys for really going the extra mile to get this hire right.
I will say that we went through a lot of applications, and then we narrowed that down to the best, you know, 4. And from there, the interviews, they were all incredible candidates, and they all did great. But Jeff really kind of pulled apart from the pack. And it was like, when we first interviewed him, I thought it was just an amazing, you know, opportunity to have someone with that much experience. And so, yeah, I'm glad we went with Jeff also. And Ben, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The mayor was dead on. I mean, it was, yeah, thank you.
West Milton's been good to me. I want to be good to West Milton.
We appreciate it. Any other discussion by council?
No, you guys said it very well. Thank you.
Any motions?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution CM-21-07.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dews,
Yes.
Copp,
Yes.
Hurst,
Yes.
Tracy,
Yes.
Mitz,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. Moving on to the manager's report. Ben?
Yeah, so one thing that wasn't included in tonight's legislation, was a resolution for the, well, we call them the scum pumps at the wastewater plant. I kind of filled you guys in a little bit, but Corey and the crew got together and found a way where we might be able to make this a portable system, because there's other areas of the plant that can be used. And we're hopefully, I mean, I don't have the costs yet. Corey's working on it. But I'm hoping we'll be at around maybe the third of the cost that we were looking at to have someone come in and put in permanent pumps. And the way that we could do this would be something that we could do ourselves. I feel confident that there wouldn't be any issues there. So I'm not saying that we absolutely won't go the other route, but we would really like to go the portable route with these pumps. So I did take that off of there, just so you guys know, and hopefully it works out, and you won't hear about that resolution again, I hope. Secondly, I don't know if you guys have heard, but we're starting our own trash service. This week was the last week for waste management for collection. We're officially taking over next Tuesday. The refuse introduction letter was sent out regular mail, and I think everybody got it around March the 19th. It was kind of, we thought it'd take a week for everybody to get it. And then the phone started ringing on Friday, and that's how we knew that people had started to get their letters. So, which is fine. The more, the more time, the better. So, VPP and Versailles actually did the work, and I did thank them because they really, once they got it, I told them we were in a hurry, and once they got it, they turned it around like right now. So, I think that letter was helpful in the process because it answered a lot of the first round questions. I also thought the town hall went really well. It was a great opportunity for the council to interact with the citizens when they had questions. Then Tom Beck and Scott Fogel, Clint Magel, and Joey Smith put together a really good short video. It basically is a way to make the process better and faster, for the community. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's on our YouTube channel. And I apologize, I meant to talk to Tom tonight to figure out the best way to explain how to watch this. And I'm assuming it's just on our WMPA. And Tom can maybe fill me in and I can let you know other ways to watch that. So big thank you to them. I guess Scott was a professional actor. He might be doing speaking roles later on because apparently he was ready, there was one take and it was done. Scott couldn't be here tonight. His son is actually at a tennis match, but I want to thank them guys for doing that. They did have to reshoot because it was really windy the day we shot, so Tom went back and did some stuff with Scott. So that worked out really well.
Hey Ben, quick question about the video.
Yeah.
Can we share that link, or maybe we already did on our Facebook page?
It should have been shared already on everything, but
Okay.
I'll double check.
And then on the website? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't look on our site, but okay.
Let's see. Today the crews began delivering all the toters. Along with the toters, the residents will receive, it's a two-sided weatherproof flyer, and it's just even more information. The one reason why I was glad the letters went out so early was because a lot of the questions on here, I didn't want it to be too long, but these are pretty much the biggest questions we were being asked on the front and back of this paper. So they are going out, every can gets one. So I gave council just a copy. They'll get one, obviously, at their house. But so one thing about the trash procedures, I think it was about the cans. The waste management cans will be picked up by our crews. If you can just have them out front where we can see them, we'll pick them up. They don't necessarily have to be in the right of way, but just out front somewhere where we can get to those. That's probably been the biggest question so far. Steve Stoss brought in the used Labrie trash truck one more time because it's looking like our other truck may not be here till the end of April. And he, again, went over it just to make sure everything was good. It's nice to have the talent of Steve on hand because he's a very good mechanic. So hopefully we get the other truck so we can start running it. The recycle container will be ready next Tuesday at the location that's on the brochure, which is behind the service garage, where the other one was at, if you guys remember that. But there's a map on there showing where that's at. The container is marked with what's supposed to go in it, but I did order some signage that has information plus a website address on it if people have additional questions, and we will post those signs by the bin. We are working on a CCTV system in that area, and a lot of people have actually wondered why we were putting in the CCTV. First off, we've already been talking about adding security to our buildings and our complexes regardless. But in this case, we wanted to make sure and put a rush on it, mainly because, one or two people putting in contaminated recycling costs everybody money. And so I don't anticipate we're gonna have a problem with this, but if we do, at least we have a way to find out how it's happening. So we'll be monitoring that, but like I said, I don't expect a problem with that. So as I said, crews will pick up your old containers, so just leave them out. We'll get them as soon as we can. So here's how I think that next week will kind of go. I think that there's no way, obviously, we're going to pick up the city in one day. We never thought that we would do that. But I think we'll start picking up Tuesday, and it'll run into Thursday and possibly Friday, depending on what happens during the week. Once we get the routes down, then we will start to figure out how to do it, like I said, slowly and safely and methodically, so that we can not be charging around town and missing trash. Because we've had a lot of missed trash the last 2 months, and people don't like it when you miss their trash. We'll be going out on Fridays to scout the whole town for one bulk trash run. That way, when we go into the weekends, everything's off the right of way, it's off the curb. We've got a lot of stuff I've noticed that's been sitting for a few trash pickups that were even wrapped, and I can't seem to get an answer as to why, but that's okay. So every Friday, we will do a check. To keep it standard, I told people that they don't have to call in because probably 60% of the pickups won't call in anyway. So instead of tying up the phones at the city building for a bulk pickup, we're just gonna check everything because that way we get it picked up. So like I said, you don't have to call for the bulk pickup. So that's pretty much it on trash. But when I went through that, does council have any questions that wasn't covered on the flyer or that I forgot about?
I do. I mean, I know the answer, but just for everyone else to know. So let's say you received a toter that, is too small.
Mhm.
I did that. I should have notified you guys to get a bigger one. We just call in, notify you.
Yep.
And then if we also would like to purchase another one, we just call in and
Yep.
you'll bring it.
Yep. That's it.
And then the other question was, now I see here, which this is great, how come you don't have to wrap mattresses and furniture anymore?
Because Waste Management picked it up by hand, and we're picking it up with that Peterson helping hand, where we
okay.
don't even get close to it.
Okay,
So we're not even physically touching this in any way, shape, or form.
okay. That is helpful.
Yeah, and I noticed that a couple households, they had their waste management cans up next to their house. So it might be a good idea on the next trash bill or whatever to remind people to just leave them out so we can pick them up or whatever. And one of them that I saw had stuff in it. So
Okay.
my guess is we're gonna have to go around and empty a few of those as we pick them up. That might be a thing to add to a little note to put on people's bill to make sure that they that we get them all picked up.
Okay.
Or better yet, have Jeff put it on the next bill.
That sounds even better. If that's all the questions on trash, some good news. I'd like to welcome Mr. Colton Jacoby to the West Milton team. Our staff is really excited to have Colton come into our service family. Colton's graduating from the Milton Union class of 2021. Tim and Clint will tell you that he had two of the best interviews we've ever had. I actually sat in on the first interview. I was going to do the second interviews, but Tim had to run out to a water leak. So I sat in on both of them. Extremely impressed. I concur with them. He interviewed great. Not to take away from the other candidates, because we had some other candidates that were also doing pretty well. Colton's just a impressive young man. We expect him to be working here for a long time. I will tell you that he went to a part-time job interview the same day that he interviewed here, and I happen to know the person that interviewed him, and the person that interviewed him actually texted me that night and said, if you don't bring this kid on, you're crazy. Now, that doesn't happen very often, and I know this person would have liked to have him on their team, but that's probably the only time in my life I can ever remember someone doing something like that. So we had already kind of decided anyway, but so another additional bonus is Joey was a reference of Colton's, and Joey states that Colton is a better worker than Joey. Now, you would have to show me that, you'd really have to prove that to me, because Joey is just an excellent worker. So there might be some competition to be had there. We'll see. I do remember when Colton's grandmother Alice was on council for a few years, Alice Jacoby. And I know that I met them when they had a shoe store downtown. They sold Red Wing shoes, and when I started with the city, that's where I got my work boots. So that's where I got to meet them. So his family is all Miltonian. They've been in town for a long, long time. So Colton's going to start working for us part-time tomorrow, but then after graduation, then he'll move on to full-time. So I think we've got one that's going to be here for a long time. So congratulations to Colton. We're looking forward to having him come on board. Just one thing that we got a couple calls on this week, which I thought was kind of odd, but we've received some calls in regards to dogs that are kind of running free on properties, which if you let your dogs out, I mean, there's no ordinance that says you can't let your dogs out. But in these, at least a couple cases, the dogs weren't being monitored or anything. And so there's people that are walking down the sidewalk, their family, maybe they have their little dog, and then you look up and you see 3 dogs coming at you. I mean, that could be pretty scary. Luckily, nothing came out of it that was bad to my understanding, and there wasn't any issue, but we did get the calls saying, you know, is this allowed? Well, so we looked up the dog ordinance, and it is very intricate, the dog ordinance is, and I don't think anybody wants to sit and read through that whole thing, but you do have to keep your dogs, you know, and when you're walking them and stuff, they should be on a leash. If they're in your yard, you should at least be there to monitor the dogs. I know you may run in the garage or something, they take off. That's dogs, but I did want to pass on that, you know, 2 or 3 dogs, 1 dog running up to a family and a little dog can be scary, and sometimes that's just not going to end good for either the dogs that are running up or the family. So just keep an eye on your dogs if they're outside. We don't want any problems with that, and we certainly don't want anybody's dogs to get hurt either. So because they can go in the street also. So that's it on that. This past Sunday, another memorial stone was added to the Veterans Memorial in our main park. This was done, the American Legion and a young group called the Young Marines. They actually took care of all this. I saw some photos from down there, and I saw Tony Hughes, who was a park board member, but Tony was also on the Veterans Committee when it was formed for the Veterans Memorial. And then Bob Sowers was actually there. Bob was service director when they started planning the Veterans Memorial. So I saw that they were attending. So they, you know, hats off to them because the memorial really looks good. And if you haven't seen it, it's down by the lion shelter in the park, and it's very nice. You know, it's just a really nice memorial. The stones that they're placing are very high caliber stones. It's just a really nice thing. And if you look down and walk on the bricks, you'll probably see a lot of names you remember from West Milton that have been around, or you know, maybe since passed, but it's kind of a walk down memory lane when you look at those bricks. So if you get a chance, go down and take a look. It's really neat. Then the only other thing I had was, I know that we've had people that said they couldn't hear very well in here. The old PA system that I looked at had long since not been working, so we did get a PA system in. I'm working with Tom right now to we're going to provide some logistics, and Tom's going to get it all hooked up. So we're hoping that by the next council meeting we have some ceiling speakers on both sides of the curtain so that everybody can hear better. So that is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Any old business with council this evening? Any new business?
Yes. Reminder, we are having an open house this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday downtown. And hold on here, I'm going to tell you we have some food trucks coming. So this Thursday and Friday and Saturday, it's open 10 to 5. We're going to have door prizes and refreshments. All of the stores have refreshments. And then, I'm sorry, I should have had this pulled up. I just want to give you guys the rundown of who is coming. So on Thursday, we have Buckeye Burgers from 10 to 5. Billy Gold Bubble Tea, 10 to 5. I've heard that's really yummy and good. And then Kona Ice will also be here. Friday, Buckeye Burgers again. Another food truck called Wild Banana. supposed to be wild. Kona Ice. Saturday, Buckeye Burgers again, and then Holy Smokes Barbecue and Kona Ice. So it'll be kind of a fun weekend. So stop down if you can and enjoy some food and shopping, and that's it.
Do you happen to have that to share out
I can, yeah.
or forward it on? Or?
Yeah, I have it on my Facebook, but I will
Okay.
pass it on to whoever needs it.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's on the sign too, if you stop down at the end of 571.
Yep.
Yeah, the dates are, but not the list of food
The
vendors.
vendors, yeah.
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 So, yep.
Awesome. Sounds good.
That's it.
Any other new business? Any comments by citizens this evening? And sir, if I can get you to, for our minutes, state your name and address, please.
David Laird, 15 South Miami Street.
Thank you, sir.
I know you guys put crossings on the north side of Miami, but south side needs some too, like by the eye glasses and the lawyer and everything.
Okay.
Because I've noticed people go northbound past the 25-mile zone, they're going 40, 50 or whatever. They don't slow down, maybe not, or at all until they hit the light. Because crossing in the middle by the restaurant,
Yeah.
they do sometimes slow down there, but a lot of times they don't.
Okay.
And southbound, as soon as they get past that, they floor it.
Yeah.
They're not going 25.
Yeah.
I know. When you say when they hit the light, which light are you talking about?
One at McDonald's,
Okay. All right.
unless it's not red.
All right.
Yeah, I can
So-
attest to that too.
So
being
are
down
you
there.
thinking there at the intersection? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm
Or-
thinking at the intersection, and also maybe in the middle of the block one. That way people can get back and forth from the hairdresser or Marmy pantry.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That way there's more reasons for them to pay attention to stopping besides looking at their phone and just driving through everything.
Right.
I'm just being honest. You
No,
watch
I-
it if you go down there.
Yep, I get it. It's, I see it all the time too, so.
Okay.
But thank you for the suggestion, and that's something that we'll definitely look into. I know that that was Ben's project that he suggested putting the crossing there at the little walking alley,
Yeah.
and I think that was great, and I don't,
I almost got hit in front of Revive It, actually, walking through the crosswalk. It was a Sunday night, about 7 o'clock.
okay.
Yeah, and I
It's-
think since that parking lot is there, and then we have, on your side, we have 4 businesses
Yeah.
now that are utilized, daily. And you do watch people trying to cross there. So I don't know if it would be tricky with that intersection, but I don't know.
I
Something
think
to
they
look
put
at.
more and more crossing signs. Because right now, there's nothing until you get by the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's something that we'll definitely look into.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I just want to tell you, of course, I've had some medical issues. That's why I haven't been able to attend council meetings and school board meetings, and I've really missed it. I want to thank you all for all the work that you've done. Nobody's perfect, and I posted that on Facebook. I don't care what, but you all have done an outstanding job. That's one of the things that I have appreciated. I've lived here in town since 1977 in the same house as where I'm at. Of course, back then I had a hubby. And I don't like the dogs loose either. There are some down at our end of town that are running loose, so we might want to take a look at that because there are some little kids down there now. We have kids on our street again. That it's dangerous because they're just running loose. They're not on a leash. There's no collar. I chased one the other day with the broom. I don't think he liked me very well, but I didn't really care. But I do want to thank all of you for all your hard work. That's one of the things I love about West Milton. Nobody's perfect, but there's one thing in all the years I've lived here. You guys are the best at listening, working together, and trying to do good for this community. And that one right there, Mr. Ben and Tim have done a lot. And we really, I said a lot of the community don't realize how much money you guys have saved this community and how you've handled things and done things. And we are very blessed here. And with the new trash thing, I posted on Facebook this morning, have patience, people, which I didn't get my can yet. Oh, and, but have patience, people, because it's a learning process. And even though I'm 81 and a half now, I still have to learn some things. And we all do. And things are always going to change, and they're going to be different. And we need to have some patience and accept things. And yeah, we have to sometimes change what we think we would like. And we have to learn to do new things. I'm still learning. But I do want to thank all of you for all you've done. I've really missed you, but I'm back.
Thank you, Alice. It's good seeing you back. All right. Seeing no other comments by citizens this evening, is there any motions to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Village residents of West Milton, my name is Scott Fogel, and I'm here tonight to walk through some details with you with the new trash service in the village, which will be starting on the 20th of April. Tonight, along with me, I have Mr. Clint Magel and Mr. Joey Smith from the West Milton Service Department, and they will walk through a bulk pickup and a regular trash pickup of how you will have your trash receptacle at the curbside and how you'll set your bulk items out for pickup as well. This is the new trash can that will be provided to you for the new trash service on the 20th of April. As you can see, it's very similar, same as the one that we had with waste management. This is the 98-gallon can. We'll also have a reduced can that is 48-gallon can for the trash service pickup. You'll see there is a silver bar here at the bottom. You'll want that facing the road for the trash pickup. And I am going to roll this out to the sidewalk and show you how you should place your can for pickup. Now we're going to walk through a bulk pickup with Mr. Clint Magel. A couple reminders as well. If you have any yard waste, please make sure that it is bagged. That includes leaves or grass clippings. As well, if you have any limbs or tree branches, make sure that they are bundled and set out at the curb as well. Please make sure that all trash is in the receptacle when it's picked up. And now we'll walk through a bulk pickup with Mr. Clint Magel. closing the loop here with our demonstration video for the Village of West Milton with our new trash service pickup that will start on the 20th of April. I'd like to thank Clint Magel and Joey Smith for coming out today for the demonstration. Just to let everyone know, within the next couple of weeks, everyone will have a red and black West Milton logo trash can delivered to their residence for the trash pickup. And the village will also be picking up the trash receptacles from Waste Management and your recycle receptacles. On the recycle note, just so you know as well, on the 20th of April, there will be a centralized bin located down behind the Rudy's grain elevator, where you will be able to dispose of your recycle items on a weekly basis as well. If you have any questions with anything with the trash service, please call the village number at 937-698-1500, and someone will take your questions or comments or concerns, and if you leave a message, they will get back to you. So thank you again for tuning in to our video demonstrating this new trash service, and we look forward to great things with the Village of West Milton. Thank you.